it's pretty amazing how in this area have like TV2 photograph. We have like Denmark's radio presented, and we maybe have one more TV2 personality, right? And then also maybe BBC, which is his name Norton or something, and a lot of other interesting people. And then we have I just realized the bank, right? The 22, my account closed, right? And if I calculate, if I all the bonds I had said that there should be like 4,000 left or less, but still over 2,000, and it was just empty. Then I realized today that I couldn't draw 100 kroner the 22, right? But now today I could draw like 200 kroner, which is $20, right? I think that the calculation goes as this: 22, something goes on, whether it's here or somewhere else, and I can't do anything. I can't call, I can't travel, I can't do anything from the 22, right? And today there is like 200 kroner, which is $20 left, right? It could be, if I'm right, that the $20 stands for the $2,000 that I'm missing, right? So the zero, missing two zeros in the account might tell the administration we could be linked to Skjern Bank and also to whatever this person is, right? With the same name as the person I grew up with, right? She must have been about 100 years now. Whether that person ID 1 to 30, right? Fake, right? Then the person who administrates the account, because there's a lot of money doesn't go in, insurance money, royalty, design incomes do not even touch the account, right? And the money I get is a social dumping, which get more and more clear that it's to, double fraud, because it is not a social dumping case. It is a number one social case, a dumping case. ID2 is a big income share, right? And I hope it doesn't go further than just money. It could go as, the child I'm missing, Alex. They could also be, production of, I don't know, versatile things, right? So basically, I think the accountant, his way of controlling the situation is, and remember how much they took off the account. Let's say $2,000 was taken off 22, right? May, right? But if to remember that I draw 200 kroner in May, but zero the 00, right? So it could be like the bank knows that there's been a draft on 2000. Another thing I noticed is that when I was young, I was going for farming, working, and I actually made an investment account for at that time, it's long ago, but they made like an investment in Danish bank, right? And I paid every month for that account, and that was a sort of investment account that should give, like when I grew up, it should be like 5,000 each, 4 times a year outpay, right? And that 5,000 was to pay whatever the farm needed, right? So I realized that this number 5,000 goes again in a sort of, I actually thought it was inheritance from her husband, right? But I think it's actually the administration on my own account that I remember I had, right? Because there was this number 5,000, right? And it is not much in compared to design, patent and royalty international, right? Or insurance on what happened September 12th, which is millions. So basically, to make a fake story and a fake doctor data to the one ID, which is a social dump case, right? and use it to rip me off from the ID where I get frosted, right? Now I explain all that, right? So basically, I think that the bank knows about, and they were also informed that there was a legal case hanging many times, and there was problem. I even asked the social worker the social worker on the Alex case, and the bank person named Charlotte or something, with different surname, right? The one is Mohr, which is not so nice to have that name, and the other was something with Ö, right? A capital we don't have, right? And then this social worker in Esbjerg Commune, which is a private employed person linked to a lawyer company, right? Remember the Slutter royalty theft case, right? He's in jail now, by the way. And then I asked her, could you try and connect to my insurance company, Codan and Almindelig Brand, because they actually should help me with lawyers and insurance refund to make a case against the people who has ripped me off, right? That include Einterteinmemt, include family and Esbjerg Commune, right? Designers and film stuff. And then she said, no, I'm not going to help. She's a social worker. And then she said, no, I'm not going to help you get in contact with your insurance company. Then I asked her, could you maybe get in contact with a person who is a former policeman who worked on the same cases as I was hurt by, plaguing a case, a child case and stuff like that. He's in a private organization. I think it's Børns Vilkår or something like that. And she said no. And that would say I couldn't get anyone who knew what kind of scenario I was in. And I couldn't get one to contact my insurance company. The same with the bank. And that's Jyske Sparekassen, right? And the same with Danske Bank, right? Because they have known what was going on for a long time. They have a central role in this, and now we got the bank scandal. Danske Bank with drags Nordea and also my bank with them, right? Then Hannah with the Hay and the New Zealand, right? And Danish, right? She changes from her bank in local area to a bank in my area, even there's an hour drive. Then I realized, and I asked her, why did you change to an area here? And I'm being, not so nicely received, right? And she said, like, that's because it's the same people working in Rebirth that works in this area, right? So that's a team that just moved, right? And then I realized that the person I meet in this area from my bank, which is not the same as Hannah's, is a person I met on Fanner, which also linked. So Ribe is still a fucking center of, you could almost say, black money magic, right? And that's how it is. And if I try to contact telecommunication system control or SOIC or finance tilsyn, they just they don't give a shit. Even I file faxes and emails and phone calls, they don't give a fuck. So that's the story. I mean, they ripped me off for $1 million. And if you get the book of Leclerc, which were at the same age as I am now, right? And I know that she was an expert in bending paper. It was her idea, the Leclerc light design, right? But they fucked her up, and she ended her life as an old lady in the wood with no money at all. It was, you can't say it's a dispute in the family, because that's not a family behavior. That's a rude bank behavior. And I think the people that's doing it this far, also Susanne Bier and Denmark's Radio and TV2, that's a fascistic way to think that it's only me that can live as a vampire on your talent, your ideas. That's a vampire. That's a vampire empire idea, right? It's nothing to do with a workplace, rights, human rights, union rights, business rights. It's truly, truly vampires.